Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another book recommendation video, and this time I'm talking about obsessed heroes. These are the heroes that are just absolutely obsessed with the heroines, and I love that in a romance book. If they're not obsessed with the heroine, like, is it even really a romance? So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. Okay, so the first book series that I'm going to talk to you about is the Mindfuck series, and the two main characters in this one are Logan and Lana. I love this series. It is so addicting. It's actually perfect for the fall, which is coming up, so I think this is a really good time to read it if you haven't already. I know everyone, like, this was popular like a couple of years ago, but I haven't read it. I hadn't finished reading it until now, and I'm obsessed. The audios are also really well done, so if you want to pick those up, I would highly recommend the audiobooks. This is this is a little bit of a spoiler, but also not really, because it is a romance series, but the hero in this is so obsessed with the heroine. Logan is so obsessed with Lana that he finds out that she's a serial killer and still is in love with her. And wants to help her with her darkness and everything like that. Like, that is crazy, but also he's just so obsessed with her. It is amazing. And oh my god, those books are dark, but what a roller coaster. It's so much fun. I highly recommend them if you haven't already. I know this is like, everyone's heard about this series, but like, there's a reason for it. Okay, the next book that I want to talk to you about is Reckless by Elsie Silver. Honestly, all of the books in the Chestnut Springs series, all of the heroes are absolutely obsessed with the heroines, and I love it. But I decided I wanted to talk to you about Theo and Winter just because I feel like it's like at another level with them. I think at all points in the other ones, I'm trying to think, I feel like in all the other books at some point the hero tries to push away the heroine, and this is the only one that he doesn't even try to pretend he's never obsessed with Winter. He, like, even before, when she's still with the doctor, he is like in the ER, he's like flirting with her before like any sort of romance is happening between them. He's flirting with her. He's obviously like already like thinks she's one of the, like, so beautiful. And then when he finds out, if you don't know the concept of this book, sorry, so I'm going all over the place. The concept of this one is, so Theo and Winter have a one-night stand at the end of her divorce because he has just been pursuing her, and she's like, okay, I want to give myself something after this, and she ends up getting pregnant, and she texts him about it, but there's a miscommunication because someone else has his phone, and so she thinks that he doesn't want to be a part of the child's life, but that he never actually found out that she was pregnant. So then when he finds out, he moves in right next door to her and is like constantly there for her and their child, and it's so good. And Winter is constantly like trying to little bit like push him away because she's always been told that she's like the frigid one. She's like the cold one of the two sisters, so she's always been told bad things about her, and Theo is always like just like, he's like her biggest cheerleader. He's obsessed. I love it, and I don't know what else to say. This one, I still think Heartless is my favorite, but Theo in this is just, he's amazing. Okay, the next book is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez's books. I find actually just similar to Chestnut Springs, I think a lot of her heroes are absolutely obsessed with the heroines. I'm trying to think. I think all of them. Maybe not the third book and her in the Life's Too Short, that book. Maybe that one is the only one that I would say is maybe not the case, but anyways. Yours Truly follows Brianna and Jacob, and Jacob has really bad social anxiety, but Brianna is his like safe space. He never feels like he never has to feel like he has to be anything but himself around her. So he actually recharges his social battery just by hanging out with her. And he's starting a new job at the hospital, and at first Brianna is really mean to him because she thinks he's trying to take her job, and like he's getting preferential treatment, but he quickly like dispels her of that idea, and they end up being great friends. And when he needs a fake date for his ex's, because his ex is getting married to his brother, she does that for him, and he also gives her brother a kidney. So he's just like so obsessed with her, and like Brianna's been hurt in the past, so she's constantly trying to push him away, and she constantly doesn't believe that he actually loves her and wants to be with her, but he just is so set on her. And like there's a quote in this book that's always like continuously through the book, it says like love shows up. And so he he loves her, so he's always showing up for her. It's so cute. I actually just put out a short of my favorite Abby Jimenez books and didn't include this book because I hadn't finished reading it yet. And I really regret this because I think it might be my favorite. I love Jacob and Brianna, but especially Jacob. He deserves to be constantly and wrapped in a blanket in the fall time, you know, like that cozy vibe. He deserves that. Yeah. Okay, the next book is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I debated whether this one counted as an obsessed hero, but I argue that it is. And if you want to argue against me, go for it. But I think he's obsessed. This one follows Jonah and Calla. Calla is a city girl through and through, but when she finds out that her dad, her biological dad, who she hasn't really gotten to know, is dying, she decides to move up to Alaska to visit him and get to know him. And like it's total culture shock for her. And that's where she meets Jonah, who lives next door and is a bush pilot for the Alaska area with her dad. They do not get along at all at the beginning. It's very much a grumpy sunshine trope. But as soon as that they like get past that, he is all for her. I don't want to spoil this book, but he would just do about anything for Calla. Like he loves her so much, and this is one of my all-time favorite books for a reason, because Calla and Jonah are like top tier relationship goals. Jonah is just like the grumpiest, sweet but also sweetest guy ever, and Calla is just so funny. She's just like a really funny character. So I really like this one. If you haven't picked up this series for some reason, the first 2.5 follow Jonah and Calla, and it is a great read. I actually really want to reread these now. I also think these would be a really good fall read if you're interested. Okay, and the last obsessive hero series I'm going to talk to you about is The Birthday List by Devney Perry. This book is so good. It is one of, I feel like, Devney Perry's underrated books. I never see people really talking about this and the sequel. I have not read the sequel, but I've heard it's even better than this one, and I loved this one. This one follows Cole and Poppy. So the idea is that at the beginning of the book, you see Poppy and her husband, and he has this birthday list of all these things he wants to accomplish on his birthday before I think it's before he turned 30, but anyways, it's what he calls his birthday list. But he ends up dying, and Cole is actually the police officer that tells her that he was in a like shooting accident. Like it was a robbery gone wrong at a liquor store. So he's actually the one who tells her that. And flash forward a couple of years, she is trying to complete his birthday list as like a way to like put his memory to rest, and also just like as a loving thing to him. And one of those things is to take a karate class, and that's where she sees Cole again, and Cole volunteers to help her complete a lot of the birthday list things because some of them are just a little hard for her to do herself. So that's where the story follows, and he Cole is just like so obsessed with Poppy that he would do anything for her, and like he knows how hard this is for her to be doing this list, and he never once is like feels jealous of the memory, which I don't like a lot in like widowed books, is if the hero is jealous of the like passed away partner. I don't like that, but he is like always just, he never is trying to overstep. I feel like he just wants to be with her, and I love it. It is so good. It's so emotional. There's also still the romantic suspense element that Daphne Perry is known for. It's just such a good underrated book, and I do think this is quite fall vibes, if I remember correctly, so another one to add to your fall TBR if you love obsessed heroes like I do. And those are all the books that I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps support my channel. Leave me down in the comments a obsessive hero that you absolutely love, because I am always on the hunt for more of those books, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.